Our Bible reading for today is 1 Samuel chapter 22. David left Gath and escaped to the cave of Adullam. He was away from home, away from Samuel, away from Jonathan. He was nowhere to go for protection. Finally, he found an asylum in a cave called Adullam. Adullam means refuge. The cave of Adullam was only 4 kilometers away from Elah Valley, the place where victoriously David defeated Goliath. In Elah Valley, David was a mighty victor, but in the cave of Adullam, he became a fugitive, the number one on the most wanted list of the kingdom of Israel, with no one to protect him. Here in Adullam, he made God as his protection in his misery, which he wrote in Psalm 57 verse 2. I will cry out to God Most High, to God who performs all things for me. When his brothers and his father's household heard about it, they went down to Adullam to meet David there. Then all those who were in distress, those who were in debt or discontented, gathered around him, about 400 men, and he became their commander. After that, David went to Mizpah in Moab and left his father and mother in the protection of the king of Moab for safety. Why did he choose Moab? Remember that Ruth, his great-grandmother, was a Moabitess. David had Moabite blood in him. Meanwhile, Saul, the jealous and the most bloody tyrant, murdered 85 priests and the whole town of Nob. Only Abiathar escaped and ran to meet David. This was one of the worst acts in the life of Saul. His wickedness was merciless and cruel. We cannot find any justification for his brutal, inhuman atrocities. Though Saul was unrighteous in doing this, yet God was righteous in permitting it. Remember that this was the fulfillment of the threatenings against the house of Eli because of the wickedness of Hophni and Phinehas his sons, recorded in 1 Samuel 2:33, that all your descendants will die in the prime of life. David said to Abiathar, I am responsible for the death of your whole family. David deeply mourned the tragedy. Sometimes God uses problems to correct us. Later, David wrote in Psalm 119:71, It is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes. Please read 1 Samuel chapter 22 to get the story in full.